I tell you what, people. Do you know what the definition of frustration is? It's just damn video at the moment for this podcast. We might just have to go back to audio, Jamie. We may have to just go back to audio. What's going on? What am I missing? What am I missing, Jamie? What am I missing?
This is
Am I
too
copping
funny.
it? Am I copping it? Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what's happened, we just lost all audio, all video, everything that we've been doing for Lace Out this week, completely lost. System complete meltdown after we've been testing it for 3 hours. 3 hours to get this right, and as soon as we went live, it completely shite itself. So,
Peps.
we're starting again.
Peps.
We're going again. We have to go
Peps,
again.
if I had a swear jar, I could have bought the MCG out of the grand final contract.
It was not pretty. There was a few expletives, I must admit, thrown just then.
Oh, that was 5 to 7 minutes of some of the classic Pep moment right there.
I was robo-copping something chronic.
You threw the toys out of the cot big
I
time.
threw them, and I threw them, and I threw them again because it was just giving me the Yoham limbs, mate.
Now,
So
are
can
we
just
actually
talk
on?
some
Are we
footy now? Can we just
working?
talk some footy now? Is it possible?
Yeah, are we actually working?
I think so. I don't know. Can the listeners, can the viewers see us?
I don't know.
Oh, they
That
only
is-
want to see you, apparently. All they want to see is you. So apparently
don't know if
we've gone live again. So we're right. Peps and J-Dog here. Lace Out. Let's just get straight into the footy. It's a big week. What's the news going on? Jamie, you start us off, mate. I just need a moment to get myself together. Listeners, viewers, just need a moment to sort of calm down a little bit, all right? So just get into it, mate. Get into it.
Right. So I suppose let's talk about one of the big stories at the top is the Alistair Clarkson scenario at the moment. He's caused a little bit of a cyclone in the AFL landscape with his comments about I've gone completely blank. But anyway, he's made a comment on one of the Sydney Swans players regarding freeze and milking freeze and being one of the best at it. Now, the reason why this has caused a bit of a storm is because Clarkson is a bit of a sniper. He's a bit sneaky. And what he does is he will say things to the media to push his own agenda and push his team's agenda, which he's a coach. He can manipulate the media in that way. And he's an elder statesman of the league. So he does have that power. But the reason why this has sort of come around again is because, let's face it, if you've watched any football this year, Hawthorn aren't travelling that great. So is this a case of Clarko just, is this the end for Clarko? Or is he just now starting to clutch at straws to divert the story away from the Hawthorn horror show that is the 2020 season?
Bit of both, I reckon, mate. I reckon, look, we've got Hawk supporters. We've got a few Hawk supporters that contribute to this show quite regularly. And I speak to them. And it's almost, they stick behind Clarko and his record, etc. But I don't think he's been on the down for a long time. Even when he first joined the club, he was still getting players on the increase, if you know what I mean. So he started off low and was working his way high. And he's been high on top of that list for quite a long time. And kudos to the man for being able to do it. But he is in a real funk at the moment with that squad. Like I showed you a picture during the week. Literally, they were witches' hats when they played us, and it was Jurassic Park last week. If you saw that game, it wasn't a bad game. It was actually one of the things I want to bring up about the games on the weekend. It wasn't exactly a bad game, but it was
very watchable.
It was watchable, but it was because they were both at the same level. It was watchable.
Yeah,
and that's what really triggered it for me. Was that. But geez, they've got some people that, like I said, Isaac Smith looks slow. Gunston, if they didn't have Gunston, I don't know where they'd get any of their goals from. Sicily, no matter how much I must admit, he's turned me around. I couldn't stand the bloke. But he's an absolute gun for two reasons. Can play football and does wear the number 6. All right, they've got some young bloods, but they're just, their recruits. Tom Mitchell did nothing on the weekend. Scully, he needs to go and join an athletics club because that's all he does is run, run, run. He doesn't get the ball. O'Meara doesn't do anything. Patton, I know he's injured, but nothing.
Yeah.
And so the players that they've brought in, their midfield, it looks great on paper, but they've just not bringing the milkshakes to the yard.
No.
And Papley took the piss. How good was he to watch? He took the piss, and it was great.
And on the peripheral, and whilst we're here, we may as well just talk about it, Peps.
Mm-hmm.
In the peripheral world of the Hawthorn landscape, we've got obviously a very, very strong clubman in terms of their president, Jeff Kennett, talking about Clarko and his contract status and whether he fits in with the club moving forward. And then this week, it's all come out a bit the old extra payments. Let's call them extra payments, alleged extra payments to players during the 80s.
Yeah, and guess what? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen whatsoever. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Because it's Hawthorn. They only pick on the minnows. And mind you, it's 30 years ago, so I don't think the precedent has gone out the window, so I don't think there's much they can do with that. But every club was doing it apparently. Perfect example for my club, throw more money out the window, because if we were paying people under the table to play that bad, that just shows how bad of a club we were. But yeah, but you know what? This is the thing I love about Clarko. He is not afraid to say, you know what? I'm going to put it all on me. I'll be the one who cops it all. And he's the deflector. He takes on the new ball and he just pushes it, lets the speed of the ball off the bat and just guides it to wherever he needs to. The players don't cop it. He's the one who cops it. And he is a smart operator. A very smart operator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's getting stale. Maybe the list is stale. The message is stale. But like Kenneth said, he put the perfect comment. I said to you last week. There's 17 other clubs out there that would love to have Alistair Clarkson at the helm. So what does that say?
For sure.
Okay? So you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater like I did approximately 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, but this time, Peps, this time, and it's a time that probably you and I haven't seen for 10 years probably now.
Yep.
Is the hounds, the media hounds, are now starting to come for Hawthorn and are starting to pull it apart a bit.
Yeah, but they're scumbags, the media.
And
we're part of it, unofficially.
I wouldn't call myself a journalist. I'm a good. I talk shit a lot.
We're showbags, mate. Absolute showbags, we are.
So what is it now? They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, I think it's 5. Yep.
So they haven't done that in probably over a decade now.
Haven't done that for a long, long time. And you know what? The kicker is, so we've got this week's games. I can't even believe it's Tuesday night we're recording this. Tomorrow night's Wednesday, and they're playing footy on a Wednesday night. They play Carlton this week. It's not going to get easier for them.
No.
Not at all.
No. Especially if Carlton bring the game that they've been bringing.
Oh, they'd be. I'll tell you what, Brendan Bolton, he may not be at the helm anymore, but geez, he got the shoots perfect. He got them perfect. Love him. Absolutely love it. So, I'm really excited about Carlton and what they've got to offer, but we'll get on to them in a minute. Hey, can I just say what I was excited about? You know, the thing that really, gave me, a lot of happiness on the weekend.
Sure.
6 games settled by 13 points or less on the weekend.
Yeah.
And good games of football. Last night, the Slop Fest over there in WA, outside of that, there wasn't many bad games of football on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying footy. I never thought I'd say this. And it's nice to see the crowd starting to come back in. You know, these low-level crowds. You know, things at Melbourne, Gold Coast. You know, we're used to. So we're starting to play in front of our normal-sized crowds of 10 to 15,000 at the most. So it's starting to feel like home again, Jamie. It's starting to feel like home again.
Right. I know.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was really, really good. And too many games to start. But I did want to focus on your game But I wanted to spend some time just talking about St Kilda because their turnaround in the last 12 months, and it started at trade time when they brought that influx of players in. They've hit every target that they've needed to, and what they did on the weekend is amazing. They're ranking highly for their marks, points, and hitouts.
Yep.
They've got a low, but they've got a very low inside 50 count as well. So they don't bring the ball inside their 50 all that often. But they've kicked the most goals on average, 10.1 goals a game they're kicking. So they're bringing it. Yep.
Can I just remind you, took a world record of accuracy to beat Port Adelaide on the weekend?
Doesn't really matter. They still beat you.
92% accuracy, world record. That's what it takes to beat a top team like us.
Accuracy with another mob on the weekend that blew that stat completely out of the water. But they use the ball by foot more than any other team. They use it a hell of a lot more than handball. And they get a lot more frees than most teams as well too. So they're working hard to get to the ball. They're spotting up their players, and they're making great decisions into their forward 50 as well too. Hill has just been brilliant for them. Dan Butler, what an absolute ripper.
Yep, he's been good.
He has been a brilliant pickup for them. Zach Jones has just basically changed his shirt and gone to a completely different club. Like, that's how awesome he's going at the moment. Oh, it's just awesome. I'm just loving the way that they're playing, and I'm not looking forward to them this week at all. Not that we're not playing them, but yeah, you know what I mean.
And they're in what, third position now on the
couple of points off top.
Not bad.
I don't think Hill's been rubbish. People have been saying, but
all right.
Nah, I reckon he's been all right.
Paddy Ryder's been rucking.
Yeah, he's having a career best. He hasn't done that for a while.
No.
I've lost my camera again, so I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. We're just going to keep the focus on you. Yep, I'm just keeping the focus on Jamie. Everybody, I've lost my camera, so it's all on Jamie right now. What a face! Perfect face for podcasting. So it's probably going to be our highest rated show ever. But yeah, I just love the way that they're playing, and they're going to be playing great footy again over the next couple of weeks. Massive chance to slot a top 2 position. Means that they're going to get a home final in either Brisbane or Perth, which no one will be able to go to either. But it's just nice. They move the ball fast. They're not afraid to take it on, and they leave players back as well too. So they don't do the massive push. They're willing to leave a couple back, and they get the score on the rebound as well too. So it's brilliant to see. So St Kilda and Tommy Crawford, you're very, very happy with your mob at the moment, because I would be too. It was a crap game last night, the Fremantle-Geelong game. Fremantle only had 2 points until half-time.
Yeah, it was bad.
But wasn't it great to see wet weather footy?
Unpopular opinion, but I actually think wet weather footy sucks.
Wet weather footy's the best. It's the best, J-Dog. It's the best.
I'm from a generation of instant gratification, Peps. You know me.
Nah, it's the greatest, mate. It is the greatest. Wet weather footy is amazing.
As I said, it's an unpopular opinion.
Mate, it was great to see. But the other worst thing is, they don't use the old balls, so there's no grip coming off them. They're all shinies. That's why they can't handle it. There's no mud, so the ball's just going to skim. They can't grab it. There's nothing to grip it onto. They don't play under 10s footy. Just slap it on your boot. Throw the structures out the window. But no, they have to still get all handball happy. Just kick the damn thing forward. And another thing, not enough long sleeve jumpers. Not enough long sleeve jumpers at all. Not enough.
All right, long sleeve.
Yeah, very, very well said. Hey, do you know what the postcode of where the West Coast Eagles head office is?
It'd be a 6, wouldn't it?
No. Well, I think it is. I know it's not 5806, which is the number of days since Essendon last won a final. Yeah. The stat that just keeps on going. 5,806. Come on, Essendon. Give that number may grow. Please, not win a final. Imagine if they got to 10,000. That'd be brilliant. They're playing some good footy at the moment, though.
Really? You're going to say that after the weekend's game against Adelaide?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I actually enjoyed that game. I loved what Adelaide did. And do you know who turned it
Wow.
on? And third quarter, this guy had an absolute stunning quarter of football. Just turned it around. He was racking them up, pinging the goals, just smashing people left, right, and centre. He was on fire. Did you see his game? He was on fire. Best game he's played for the club all year, and best game he's played for a long, long time. Because tell you what, besides his size and his dreadlocks, he hadn't been doing too much from a football perspective over the last number of months. And it was good that he brought a game out. It was sensational.
Sensational.
Sensational. It was sensational. He was very, very good. He was very good.
What else?
What else? All right. I do have something else.
Look, Essendon don't excite me. I mean, they're what are they? 5 wins or something this season, and they got 1 game spare. But
yeah, but they're doing
mean,
they don't have to. They just keep winning, mate. They just keep winning. What more do you want? They
Yeah.
just keep winning.
it was a terrible game.
Mate, you what do you
I'm-
want from
I'm to-
life, mate? What do you want in life?
Told you, Rads made me angry today because he just off the top of the comments he mentioned Port Adelaide and the Saints, and it just got me angry before the podcast even started. I know.
You were robo-copping a little bit. So we were robo-copping. I was robo-copping. Oh, I tell you what. Hey, I will say one thing though.
Sure.
You know what, another thing that was just on the weekend, took the kids for a walk around the block. So, trying to get some fitness out, masks, etc., walking around the lake. I had an opportunity. I said, what am I going to do? I'm going to listen to the West Coast Collingwood game. 1 minute into the second quarter, West Coast are 14 points down. Fast forward, practically 3 quarters later, they've taken it out by 66 points.
Oh, I was the
That's
same.
an 80-point turnaround. But hold on, you want to take this one step further. Collingwood had 37 inside 50s. West Coast had 35.
Yeah.
And they've ended up kicking 18 goals. That's more
Like you-
than 50%. That is nuts.
Like you said, no Degoe.
No
What
to
would happen?
no to Goey, no to Collingwood, no to Pendlebury.
No to Pendlebury.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I did the same as you. I think I took Hux for a walk over at the park, and I came back at around, I reckon 3/4 time or somewhere in the 4th quarter, and same thing. I just sat on the couch and I was like, what's happened here? Like, what? This was worse than the grand final.
It wasn't good.
I've never. It wasn't good. And then just after last week, you and I are speaking about Josh Kennedy and how he hasn't done anything good for about 3 or 4 years. Comes out and does that.
Did he kick 4 the week before and now he's leading the Coleman?
Yeah.
And mind you, he kicked a genuine bag. He kicked 7. That's a genuine bag.
Yeah.
A handful is 5. A bag kicks in at 6.
And I think he could have had another 2 in there. I think he missed a couple and sprayed completely. So,
Oh, yeah. Nah, it was just, they were pinpoint. They were laser-like. And considering the run that they've got going in for the rest of the season and finals, potentially just playing finals in Perth because of what's been going on, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yep. They're back in town.
They're back in town, and it just shows how quick. 4 weeks ago, we were saying they weren't even going to get a ticket back into town.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I have to mention my mob.
Yes. What do you want to mention about your
Where
mob?
do you want to start, mate?
Let's start with the ones today, which I heard doing the rounds on the radio.
Go for it. Just go for it. Hit me with your rhythm stick, big fella.
Could Petrarco be leading the Brownlow?
Nah.
No. Okay. All right. No, that's it so far. No, Melbourne are playing good. Melbourne have been playing
Yeah.
good football, and you lost a really probably game of the round for me.
Oh, it was a gettable game.
Was
What
gettable.
no, gettable. I've been saying it for weeks, mate. We talked about under 10, something that you learn when you're a little fella playing footy at Auskick, at Footy Clinic, under 10s, 12s, 14s. Bad kicking is bad football. And
Yep.
once again, Melbourne, bad kicking in front of the big sticks. They just did it. Wiedemann missed a couple. Harms misses one. Langdon misses one. Harley Bennell, who I would have thought would have kicked it 99 out of 100 times, runs into an open goal and absolutely sprays it completely. You do that, you win by 3 goals. Lockie Neal is a gun. Petrarca played well. Oliver played well. Gawn did his thing. Hibbert did his thing down back. Oscar McDonald cops it left, right and centre, but he has brought some structure back into that forward line. May probably played his best game for a long, long time. Wiedemann was crunching packs. They just, it's just frustrating. That's all I can say. Just absolute, yeah, we missed our three-peat. I would have got a tat if we'd won 3 games in a row. It doesn't happen all that often. It's just shattered, mate. Absolutely shattered with it. But what can you do?
Also, whilst we're here, Lee Mack, I don't understand the joke.
Which one?
The Full House joke. I don't get it.
You look like the guy from Full House.
It must be
Not
3
Bob
generations.
Saget. Not Bob Saget and John Stamos from the...
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, you watched Full House. You had to have watched Full House.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. But he sounds like Pepper and his lips never move. Melbourne, we created a poster for the D's for their 3 games in a row. That's not bad. Tell you what, we might have to get Lee Mack on one day. We might have to get him as a special guest. But we'd never get a word in because all he'd talk about is himself and all the people he's met over his journey working for Coke and how wonderful they were.
If you could explain that comment, I'd love it because I want to be part of the joke, but I don't understand the joke. I just wasn't. I didn't watch Full House.
Doesn't matter. So there's been some tribunal results over the weekend. Interestingly enough, Big Tommy, the serial elbower, has got a week.
Yes.
Good on him.
For elbowing?
Yeah, for elbowing.
Okay.
Yeah. What else do you reckon he did?
Yeah. No, I'm no, good on
he got a ban for a stray elbow. How can you have a stray elbow?
Well, like perhaps he might have had an itch.
Oh, he's a puss.
Someone may have tickled him.
You're a dick. Classed as intentional, high contact, low impact. Yeah. So Jay Kolodjasny, he just got nothing. And by the way, what is the definition of a dangerous tackle? May I ask, people? Do you know what a dangerous tackle is? What is the definition of it? Because I have no idea.
That can cause injury.
Any tackle could cause injury.
That's the definition of a dangerous tackle.
Did you see Keziah Pickett's tackles on the weekend? It was one where he's picked the Brisbane player up straight up and dumped him. He's gone dangerous tackle. And the guy's running into him. And then the other one, he's just brought him to ground, dangerous tackle. Come on, mate. Umpires, please. You're copping enough stick as it is. Jamie, it's a contact sport. It's a contact sport, Jamie. Do we have to go over this again?
If you pick someone up off the ground and just drop them on their head,
he didn't drop them on his head. He dropped them on their backside. So he didn't drop them. It wasn't a spear tackle. He just got him in a perfect... Have a look at it. Have a look at the replay. It was a perfect tackle. Exactly right. Habibi Burmo, one of our loyal listeners, has jumped in with any tackle at the moment is a dangerous tackle. It's a joke, mate. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Absolutely wholeheartedly. I could block him. I'm not going to block him. Good. He's got a good point there. It's true. It's true. Not liking it at the moment.
It's just this is an AFL, and I don't even want to mention these words, Peps, because I just know where this is going to end up as a conversation.
What, footballers are not athletes?
No, it's going to end up in this conversation. It's an interpretation of the umpire at that time. I don't know. I know Do you have your camera on? I can't
I can't
see.
turn my camera on. It's probably a good thing because I'm going red right now.
No, I know you're sitting there steaming
I
on
am
this.
steaming right now.
You know that this is the way the AFL game is adjudicated, and it has been for 100 plus years.
It's stupid. That's what it is. It's stupid.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, how can a professional sport have such an open interpretation to the rules? We need this, we need that, we need that. But it just doesn't happen, Peps.
You reckon, Hocking wakes up, change my jocks, change a rule. Or does he listen to that, when they had that ad over the years, change the clock, change the smoke alarm battery? He says, change the round, change a rule. It's just a change a rule. Every week is something different. What was the rule of the round this week? There's still the sling tackle? Or the tackling?
It was the tackling. The holding the ball was the rule.
See, this is the thing. I have no issue with this at all. I love seeing these people getting tackled. You try and take somebody. There was never prior opportunity. That was just a faux pas that was brought in. It was like the mess hall in A Few Good Men. Do you know where the mess hall is? Yeah, where is it in the book? It's not there. Prior opportunity ruins the game, all right? You've got options. You either get rid of the ball or you take the tackler on. And you take the tackler on and you get caught, you get penalised. Gone are the days where you can sit on it and hatch the damn thing. It's finished. It's gone. Get over it, fellas. We're not going back. This is the way... And that's why the games have been so much better, is because the ball gets going in motion a lot quicker than having to wait 10 seconds for the bloke to throw it up and nominate the two ruckmen, who are the two big blokes around about 6'8" that are standing there while everybody else is 6'2". Stupid.
I don't think anyone is disagreeing with the logic there, Peps. I think what the frustration from the supporters has been is the consistency in that rule being applied.
Mate, they've been a lot more consistent. Here's the other one. If you're tackled and you throw it on your boot and it goes out of bounds and you know it's not deliberate and it rolls 50 metres and goes out, deliberate. Wet ball. The wet ball slides across the ground. It's deliberate. It does my head in and it does the listeners' heads in because they keep commenting on it every single week. Is that they take it all the way to 11. It's like, the rev meter that Gary Lyon talks about. It's the rev meter. They just take it to the extreme and stuff it up.
Yep.
Oh.
I know you're frustrated, Peps.
I hate it. I hate it more than anything.
What else do you want to talk?
All right, mate. Is there much else that you want to cover off tonight? It's a bit of a shorter episode with all our technical difficulties, etc. It's been a bit frustrating, so we've got a bit of a shorter episode tonight.
The only one I sort of wanted to talk about in tonight's show. Now I've completely lost the story. Oh, Mason Cox. That's one come out today.
Oh, what is it? I haven't heard this.
So apparently Mason Cox, and that's no surprise to people who watch football, is on very thin ice at Collingwood, and his future is very uncertain beyond 2020. Thoughts on this, Peps?
What's there to talk about? If you don't want to talk about the rules, what's he done, mate? He's played one good game and knocked Richmond out of the finals. That's it. I'll put it to you this way. If he wasn't American, would he still be on that list?
This is the problem. This is the problem that that most clubs grapple with or have a hard time with. You don't get 211 centimeter forwards growing on trees. So is he worth keeping there to develop the craft for another year or two just because he is so big? Because we've seen what he can do? Is that the enigma we sort of keep in the list? Or do we get rid of him and bring in another standard 6'5", 6'4" midfielder? I don't know. Clogged list with those people.
Groundhog Day. Should we go a bit of Groundhog Day? We've had this conversation before, Jamie. He's not a footballer. Toby Green. Toby Green comes in at what? 6'1" at the most? Kicks 5. Gun. One of the top 5 players that I would go in and watch. He is a gun.
Yep.
This guy's what? 211 centimetres?
Yep.
No, I would take the guy who's a footballer than somebody else who is a gimmick, a sideshow, a good news story. Mate, next year, the list sizes are going to be cut back. As it's been mentioned by our loyal listeners and our loyal viewers over the last couple of weeks, clubs aren't going to have the luxury of having players on their list who might have a little bit of potential. We'll let them give them a couple of years. They're not going to have an option.
Well, according to the story here that that Caro's written, she's mentioned that potentially looking at going to Melbourne.
You're so full of it. She has not said that. Don't suck me in with that, Jamie. Do not suck me in.
But she but Corns did tell Channel 9's Footy Classified that the future of Mason Cox, there's grave concerns, particularly at Collingwood, because he just can't seem to get a crack, and he's played 4 games this year and only kicked 4 goals. So he hasn't actually done a lot, and hasn't done a lot, as you said rightly, for about 2 seasons now.
Well, he's not a forward. Why wouldn't you play him at centre half? Oh, you can't play him at centre back because they've got bloody Kieran Knightley down there, so that's going to make it hard.
Who is in all Australian form this season.
All Australian form. But they are running out of players. It's going to make it difficult. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes at the moment, though.
No.
Well, how's he going to feel? But how's he going to feel? Like, if he doesn't get a game and they delist him, he can't go home. He can't fly back to the States, can he? Is anyone going to the United States at all?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's true. No. Well, you need to be able to kick the balls deep to Cox to have some sort of impact. Otherwise, he finds himself behind a lot and struggles to find a gap.
Yeah, he's not.
He can't.
He's not. Yeah,
he does. He struggles to hit the middle. Yeah,
on the ground is like a ruckman. Like you don't expect a ruckman to chase down a player, or you don't expect a ruckman to be great beyond.
John Ironmonger. Look up the footage. That's how a ruckman chases someone down.
Well, I'm just saying, like, ruckmen aren't great below their knees generally as a rule of ruckman. He's as big as and bigger than some ruckmen in the league. Bigger than most ruckmen, actually.
He's but once again, Jamie, he's small. Okay.
Yeah, I think he will find himself at another club. I think he probably will get traded out.
He'll get offered $1.2 million a year by North.
They're
going to start a war because they've got all these war chests that they have to use.
They've got a lot. They've got a lot of money.
Just go to Tassie, North.
I imagine North would be in the best position now with COVID because they would have the most money just sitting there in war chests, wouldn't
they? No, they're finished, mate. North. They're finished on the field and off field. They're woeful.
Well, I'm just saying that Cox could find himself at another club at the end of the season. And I think he'll probably get traded out.
I think if Cox will be stiff if he does get traded, but you can't flop around on the issue, mate.
Hey, boom.
Hold on.
You got it.
I got it. Wait a second. There we go.
You 2 because you gave yourself 2 dick jokes there.
All right. Okay. I think we're done. Have we got any questions? Questions that have come through during the week for us? Any quick hands that we have to throw at each other just before we get this one going? I know Tipped Out. We had some pretty good results from Tipped Out. Both of us did quite well. I think it was pretty even at the end. I didn't pick Melbourne, so that was good. It's going to be interesting this week. Now, this week, ladies and gentlemen, the Demons take on the Power Thursday night. So, I would strongly recommend that you get on the Lace Out Facebook page, because Jamie and I are going to be commenting on the game live on the Facebook page. So normally we have our private conversations, but this is something that everybody needs to see. So get on the Lace Out Facebook page and get ready for the D's to take on the Port this Thursday night. Tipped out. We'll be back tomorrow evening. I think we've got 36 games in 4 days coming up. It is going to be nuts. It's the Jack Watts Cup, the Jimmy Toumpas Plate.
Oh, I wonder if Jack Watts has been considered this week.
He could not get a game.
Oh, no.
It's the David Roden Handicap. We've got them all going.
The Toumpas tournament.
Oh, the Toumpas tournament. Yes. This one will work because there'll be no video. But we might be bringing in a new platform next week, which will alleviate everything. I've just got to work out a way to record it for our podcast listeners. But look, I've had a great time. Jamie Wallace, you have been awesome once again. We know you love your football, Lace Out, just like your Cox. More importantly, listeners, good luck for your team. Once again, if you've got any photos, post them up on the page. You can. We can let anyone post photos up on the page. Just put it up. We're here. We're one unit. We're a family. We're a community. We'll see you this time next week. Hopefully, you've had a great highest rating so far. I've just been checking the stats. Highest rating episode so far because Jamie's the only head. So, Jason Statham, you've been wonderful tonight. And everybody, listeners, enjoy football. We'll see you this time next week.
Everyone.